Good evening, everybody. I'm Camilo, and this is the last video journal recording of this year. This video, it's going to be about my learning experience and my learning process during the last half of this semester. And I'm going to focus on two main aspects. The first one says, what have I learned and how do I know that I learned it? And the second one says, what am I doing concretely to improve my language skills? To give some examples. So, regarding the first statement, I gotta say that I have learned to slow myself down. And this is really important for me. Regarding productive and receptive skills, there is a moment in which you reach a certain level of English that implies that you are not longer learning with the same speed that you used to learn when you were starting the English learning process. So for me, this semester is not the same as second semester in first year. You know, the difference in speed of learning or amount of things you have learned is different. So, to slow down means, for example, to speak slower. And that has to do with my E-Lab experience, for example, in which by heart I had to learn how to slow down my speaking in order to make my students understand me. Because yes, one thing is having a certain level of English and therefore fluency and everything that has to do with the speaking skill. And another thing is to communicate. And regarding communication, you have to not just think about what can you do, but how can you do to make others understand you. Alright, so, that's regarding speaking. About, I can mention really briefly about writing. I have started to write more academically regarding academic writing, as well as I finally understood, in a way, the meaning of passive voice. And I did it by reading. It is really funny because we had this workshop in which I understood like half of the passive voice, and then after that workshop, like the same day, I had to read a book, and I identified the passive voice within the book. So it was useful, really useful, and it was an academic book about it. It's called Mindset by Carol Dweck, psychologist. So, another thing that I want to mention is that I started listening rather than speaking at classes, and this is something that it's also helping me to slow down. Why is that? It's because I used to participate, I would say, too much. Sometimes. And this semester I try to do the opposite. That is to say, to listen to the others, and in that way I am also improving my listening skills rather than producing. Alright? So I get more patience, I improve my listening skills, paying attention not just to the product of the speech, but also the speech by itself, the components of the speech of my classmates, my teachers, etc. And that's it. This a constant struggle between productive and receptive skills, and how to manage to improve them all in a certain level, in specific pacing, and so on and so forth. So, thank you for listening, and see you next year, hopefully. Goodbye.